Lil Wayne versus Birdman, loyalty or lawsuit? Before we get into the messiest father-son fallout in hip-hop history, hit that subscribe button. This is Fake Famous, where we break down rap beef, nostalgia, discographies, and the drama that made you love this game in the first place. Let's go. Let's rewind. Before Thought Carter, before Lollipop, before that damn cup seemed glued to his hand, there was Dwayne Michael Carter Jr., a skinny kid from Holly Grove, New Orleans. Wayne wasn't your typical 9 to 5 rapper. Hell, he wasn't even old enough to understand a 9 to 5. This kid was in the studio when most of us were still fighting over the last Pop-Tart. And then enters Birdman, aka Baby, aka the CEO with enough oil on his lips to deep fry a turkey. But Baby wasn't just any label exec. This man didn't recruit Wayne, he raised him, literally. When Wayne's real father dipped or passed, depending on the source, Birdman slid in like a South Louisiana stepdad with a bag of money and a promise. You gonna be a star, Lil One. That wasn't just lip service, he meant it. The origin of Cash. Money Love. Cash Money wasn't built like other labels. This wasn't Columbia or Def Jam with shiny offices and polished A&Rs. This was street hustle turned empire. It was family, ride or die, sometimes literally. And Wayne, he was the youngest in the house, the golden child. While Juvenile was out here making grown man music and BG was catching charges in between verses, Lil Wayne was the baby of the Hot Boys. He was 12 when he joined the crew. 12. Think about what you were doing at 12. Wayne was in the booth rapping about things he hadn't even experienced yet, and still making it sound legit. By the time Thaw Block is Hot dropped in 1999, Wayne was just 17, but already the face of Cash Money. And Birdman, he wasn't just proud, he was possessive. These two didn't just share songs, they shared tattoos. Yeah, real ink. Birdman tattooed Wayne's name on his body. Wayne got Birdman's name tatted back. This was deeper than music. It was my dad would slap your dad energy. Father and son, vibes. On steroids. Now, this wasn't just mentorship. Birdman called Wayne his son, not metaphorically, literally. That's my son. The Break, 51 million and a broken bond fast forward to 2014. Lil Wayne, the face of Cash Money, the lifeblood of the label, the very reason Birdman was still relevant, had finally hit his breaking point. What triggered it? The delays. Specifically, the Carter V, the most anticipated album in his entire catalog. This wasn't just another mixtape. This was supposed to be the victory lap, the final Carter, the magnum opus, and it kept getting pushed back, and pushed back, and pushed back again. At one point, fans thought Detox would drop first, and that's saying something. Wayne had been loyal since he was a kid, through label shifts, artist exits, even the death of his beloved engineer Static Major. But this time, he was done. The tweet that shook the industry. December 4th, 2014. Wayne logs onto Twitter and posts, "I want off this label and I refuse to be silenced. I am a prisoner and so is my creativity." Boom. Hip-hop world goes into DEFCON 5. Wayne called out Birdman. Publicly, loudly, on the app. No subliminals, no emoji, straight digital smoke. This wasn't rap beef. This was family drama going federal. People thought it was a hack, a stunt, a rollout. Nope. This was pain. Real pain. The $51 million lawsuit. Soon after, Wayne filed a $51 million lawsuit against Birdman and Cash Money Records. Now let that number marinate. 1 million. That's not a typo. That's not back rent. That's full-scale empire money. The lawsuit said, Birdman blocked Thought Carter 5 from dropping. Birdman withheld millions in unpaid royalties. And worst of all, Wayne had no control over what he built. Remember, by this point, Wayne had signed Drake, Nicki Minaj, Tyga, and a whole Young Money roster. These artists were printing money. They weren't just rappers, they were machines. Drake was taking over streaming. Nicki was dominating pop and hip-hop. Tyga had a moment. And yet Wayne, the guy who gave them the keys, stuck. No album, no payouts, no peace. Imagine building the mansion, handing out room keys, and you're sleeping on the damn porch. Birdman's reaction. Gaslight and grills. So how did Birdman respond? Did he apologize? Clear the air? Cut the check? Nah. Birdman went on. The Breakfast Club with his sunglasses on indoors, lips glossier than ever, saying, "That's my son. I love him. Ain't no issue. Sir, your son just sued you for the GDP of a small country, and your response is, put some respect on my name?" Birdman played it cool in public. Real cool. Too cool. Suspiciously cool. Like when your girl says, "I'm fine," and starts packing her bags. The streets start talking behind the scenes. The industry knew it was ugly. Producers weren't getting paid. Lawyers were running in circles. Universal, the parent label, didn't know whether to step in or watch the house burn. And Wayne, he turned to the only thing he knew: bars. Part 3. The Dice. Bars versus Birdman. Wayne didn't just take it to court, he took it to the booth. "I'm good. Don't worry about me." That line. "You see my daddy in the courtroom?" Yeah, that hit different. That wasn't just a punchline. It was a reality check. Wayne was reminding everybody that his father was now his legal opponent, but he didn't stop there. The Coco freestyle, all smoke. Then came the legendary Coco freestyle. "Cash Money is an army. I'm a one-man army." Wayne basically said, "Y'all can keep the label. I'll build a new one out of Pain, Codeine, and Pro Tools." He sounded hurt. He sounded bitter. He sounded liberated. That freestyle wasn't just a diss. It was a declaration. I don't need y'all no more. Mixtape Wayne returns. With no album release in sight, Wayne did what he always does when cornered. He hit the streets with mixtapes. Sorry for the Wait 2 was full of venom. Lines like, "Who kept this shit together? N. Me. That's who. Who was there when NS left us? And me. That's who." He was unloading. And the fans? We were eating it up like Thanksgiving leftovers. Wayne back on mixtapes felt like 2007 again, only now it was personal. Birdman's interviews. All talk, no check. Meanwhile, Birdman went on a PR run. Breakfast Club, revolt. Every mic that had let him talk. He kept saying, "Wayne, my son, ain't no beef. That's family." Sir, your family just dropped a 17-track diss tape and took you to court. Love don't cost a thing, but apparently royalties do. Birdman tried to play the cool dad in public, but in private, he was bleeding artists. Drake stayed silent, but was clearly Team Wayne. Nicki hinted at tensions. Tyga straight up left, said he never got a dime. It was a Young Money mutiny, and Birdman was standing on the deck of a sinking ship, smiling like everything was fine. Meanwhile, Wayne was starving. And here's the thing people forget. Wayne wasn't just mad, he was hurting financially. That $51 million, it wasn't some ego thing. That was his actual bag. Wayne's lifestyle was massive. Lawsuits, child support, taxes, jet fuel, skateboard ramps in his living room. The man had expenses, and Birdman was sitting on the button that released the cash. Wayne had given him albums, hits, artists, a legacy, and got iced out like a one-hit wonder. The fans pick sides. Twitter exploded. Wayne fans were free Carter V-ing every day. Birdman memes were flying, glossed lips and all. People were clowning him for kissing Wayne and then suing him. Memes like, "Birdman really kissed his own investment goodbye." Cold, but accurate. When family fails. So let's review. Wayne gave Cash money life. Birdman gave Wayne opportunity, and allegedly held his money hostage. The love was real, until the checks weren't. And once Wayne aired it out, there was no going back. They say never mix business with family. This was proof. The man who raised him was now dodging his lawyers. The label he built from scratch was now in legal limbo. And Wayne, he wasn't just rapping anymore. He was fighting for freedom. The resolution, $10 million, a hug, and a scarred legacy. By 2018, the saga had dragged on for almost 4 years. Wayne wasn't just battling Birdman. He was battling the entire music industry machine, a legal war zone, lawsuits, countersuits, closed-door meetings, and all the while, Wayne kept rapping, kept touring, kept bleeding, but then, finally, the storm started to clear. The settlement Universal cuts the check. In June 2018, news breaks. Lil Wayne and Cash Money have reached a settlement. And the number? $10 million. Now let's pause right here. Originally, Wayne sued for $51 million. So this wasn't a full victory. It was more like settling a heavyweight fight in round 12 with a handshake and a black eye. But still, that 10 millers wasn't just hush money. It came with something more important. Control of Tha Carter Faye. That's right. Wayne finally owned what he created. After years of being handcuffed to a label that refused to let go, he was free. The Carter V drops. The internet breaks. September 28th, 2018. The Carter 5 finally drops. Fans who had grown up with Wayne, who had been waiting since Obama's second term, hit play like it was a national holiday. The album wasn't just music, it was therapy. Tracks like Let It Fly, Mona Lisa with Kendrick, and Don't Cry with a posthumous XXX Tentacion verse hit hard. Not because they were perfect, but because they represented freedom. Wayne was no longer a prisoner. This was him, unfiltered, uncensored, uncaged. The world cheered. Hip-hop blogs went wild. Twitter lost its mind. Every DJ with a pulse spun that album like it just came out the lab. But the real ones, the day one Wayne fans, we knew the truth. The album was free, but the bond still broken. Public hugs, private distance. After the settlement, Wayne and Birdman shared some public moments. There was the infamous club video in Miami. Wayne standing there, sipping out of a styrofoam cup the size of a traffic cone, and Birdman pulls up, apologizes, and hugs him in front of everybody. Birdman literally grabs the mic like it's a revival sermon and says, "I knew this day was gonna come. I knew you was gonna be right here." Cool moment. Emotional even. But it was giving PR stunt. Because not long after, they were back to barely interacting. Then came the Lil Weezyana Fest in New Orleans. Birdman popped out, hugged Wayne on stage again, said sorry, the crowd went nuts. But you could feel it. That original father-son energy? Gone. No more matching tattoos. No more Stunna and Wheezy flexing like mob bosses. Just two businessmen tying up loose ends for the cameras. A broken brotherhood, Wayne didn't diss Birdman again publicly. But he didn't go out of his way to praise him either. And Birdman, well, he stayed Birdman. Glossy lips, cryptic interviews, still talking in riddles about love, business, and family. But deep down, we all knew what happened. The bond they built from the block to the billboard cracked forever. What could have been? And that's the saddest part, because if they'd handled things differently, Birdman and Wayne could have been hip-hop's dynasty duo. Think about it. Wayne could have dropped 3 more Carters with no drama. Young Money could have expanded with Wayne in full control. Birdman could have played the cool retired exec role, but instead, Wayne had to fight his own father in court just to release an album. He had to diss the man who kissed him on camera, just to get paid. It wasn't just a legal beef, it was a public heartbreak. Loyalty or lawsuit? So let's ask the real questions. Was Birdman wrong for how he handled Wayne? Or was Wayne disloyal for suing the man who put him on? Was this just business turning personal like it always does? Or was it personal from the start, and the business just exposed it? But drop your thoughts in the comments. Was Birdman a snake or a father trying to protect his empire? Was Wayne the victim or the rebel? And more importantly, was that hug real? This is Fake Famous, breaking down the moments that shaped the culture. Next up, we got the chaotic rise of XXX Tentacion. Buckle up for that one.